Televiewer, good evening and welcome to Current Issue. With me tonight, Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabree. Mr. Sabree, welcome again to MEA.
Wally, thank you very much for bringing me on MEA. I love your programming.
Thank you so much.
Glad to be back.
And thanks for your support. You know, we're putting a lot of commercial, let the community knows about all the news from the Wayne County Treasurer.
Yes.
Mr. Sabree, Wayne County Treasurer, mainly collecting taxes. But what I believe, the city send us the bill and we pay the city. How come it comes to when and where it comes to the treasurer?
That's a good question.
To the Wayne County.
Good question.
Yeah.
The municipalities, the local communities collect the current taxes.
Yes.
So when the taxes aren't collected on March 1st of the next following year, those communities transfer the delinquent taxes to the Wayne County Treasurer. So just last week, we received the delinquent tax roll from the communities. And then it's our job to then collect the delinquency.
I see. So all municipality, all in Wayne County,
Yes.
okay, if they don't within 1 year, it goes to the county.
Right, to the county.
That goes for residential and commercial?
Residential and commercial.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. It comes to you and you send them the bill. What happens if they are behind and they cannot pay the bill?
Well, the taxpayers have options. They can enroll in the payment plans with our office.
Okay.
They can also apply, if you're a residential homeowner, you can apply for assistance through the Michigan Homeowner Assistance Fund, which is a new program.
Yes.
It's funded by federal dollars.
Yes.
Yes,
And I
you can go and
50 billion or something like this.
it's $200 million.
200 million, yes.
Sent to the state. 240 million, I think, to be
Okay.
exact. And it's a grant that if you look behind on your mortgage, behind on your land contract, behind on your property taxes,
I have even the utilities.
utilities,
Yes.
and as well as your internet and your homeowner insurance.
Wow.
All of that,
Yeah.
if you're behind on that, and you're within 150% of the area median income, which in Wayne County is about $96,000 a year for a family of two. If you're within that and you had a hardship after January 21st, 2020, and you own the property, you live in it, you can apply for this fund. It's a grant up to $25,000.
You know, this is very important,
Yes.
Mr. Sabree. How they apply for the grant?
Okay, you can dial 211. That's one way.
211.
211 and say you
All
want to
right.
apply for the Michigan Homeowner Assistance Fund, and they abbreviated MIHAF, M-I-H-A-F. And you can say, I want to apply for MIHAF.
Okay.
And, or you can go to the website, michigan.gov/MIHAF, michigan.gov/MIHAF.
I see.
And you can do that. So
Yeah.
either way. They have agencies that will help you fill out the form as well. Wayne Metro is one of those agencies, and their number is 313-388-9799.
Okay. Can they come to your office and get this information?
Well, to our office, you have to make an appointment.
Okay.
And what you do to make an appointment, go to our website, treasurer.waynecounty.com. That's treasurer.waynecounty.com. And when you scroll down, it says make an appointment, and then you can make an appointment. And we ask people to make an appointment for the earliest time they see on the calendar. We extended our hours to Saturdays, starting this past Saturday.
Yeah.
All through March, we're going to be open on Saturdays. So you
Great.
can make an appointment for Saturday as well.
Can they call the office and get the number for the...
They can. They can
Yeah.
call our office at 313-224-5990. It's 313-224-5990. Or you can email us at taxinfo@waynecounty.com. That's TAXINFO@waynecounty.com.
Okay. For a person that he cannot afford to pay, or he doesn't know about this program, or he went and they deny him for some reason, okay, is there any other program that you could help him make it a payment plan, and who to go to make a payment plan? Do you have like financial institute to do that for you?
Well, we'll do the payment agreements. You can do them online as well. If you can do it right on, if you know how to do it online, you can go right to our website and take you to payment agreements. Or you can contact our office, make an appointment, come in, and we'll help you with the payment plan. We also, while we have a hardship policy, that if someone is a landlord, for instance, and they have had some hardship because of COVID, maybe they couldn't collect any rent.
Yes.
They're waiting for money from the state to help.
And it's happening.
It's happening.
It's happening a lot.
Maybe the properties got flooded in the flood last summer.
Yes.
And they had difficulty. Didn't get FEMA money. They had to replace all the appliances and they didn't have any help,
Yes.
they can apply for a hardship. The commercial property owners can do the same thing, and as well as residential homeowners, and they get more time, they get extension for another year. Now, anyone who applies for the hardship, they have to fill out the paperwork, turn it in by March 31st, so we can, review
Stop
the foreclosure, and give them
yeah.
at least a year extension.
Okay. Well,
now,
great.
if you're a residential homeowner, all you have to do is apply for this MyHalf program, and you get an extension for another year.
That's great.
And all you have to do is make the application and send us the first page or the confirmation from the state
Yes.
to show that you applied.
Exactly. If anybody try to come to you, there are so many different ways that you could help them.
Right.
We mentioned the landlord. How about if the tenant, he's paying the rent, and the landlord, he's not paying the taxes?
Well, here's what happens. The tenants say did nothing wrong. They just paying the rent or not. And the landlord loses the property. So what happens is the law requires the county treasurer to first offer the property to the state of Michigan. They can say yes or no. Then we have to offer it to the municipality, the city or the township. And if they refuse it, we have to offer it to the county and then to the land banks that attach to the city or the county. So if all of them refuse it through what we call the right of refusal, then we have to put it in an auction. But here's what happens in the city of Detroit.
Yes.
And a couple of other cities. Well, they call up in Detroit, they call it the Make It Home program, where if the tenant is living in the house, the landlord loses it to foreclosure.
Or if he paid, but landlord, he doesn't pay the taxes.
The landlord doesn't pay. The landlord loses it. Now it gets foreclosed.
Okay.
The county treasurer owns it. The tenant is still there.
Okay.
So what happens to the tenant? Well, the city of Detroit has been taking these properties through the right of refusal. Before it goes to auction, they pay us the taxes. We transfer the property to them. And then
To the tenant?
we transfer it to the city. And then the city works with the tenant to make them the homeowner, to help them become the homeowner.
That's great.
So
That's great.
over 1,000 people have benefited over the last 3 or 4 years from this Make It Home. We didn't have any foreclosures in 2020. We didn't have any occupied properties in 2021. So the last time that the Make It Home program operated was in 2019. So this year we expect there's going to be some foreclosures.
Yes.
Because everyone's not going to reach out to us like they should. And there are some people who are delinquent so many years behind. They're not.
Okay, those people delinquent so many behind.
Yes.
Why that you let them?
How did that happen? How did that happen?
How'd that happen?
See, here's what happened. See, some of the taxpayers got into what we call an interest reduction payment agreement. And they put multiple years that they had. At the time they joined into the agreement, they maybe had 2 or 3 years delinquency.
Okay.
And they got in a payment agreement and they defaulted.
Oh.
Then they came back, they have a second chance. They defaulted a second time. Then we had 2 years where we had no foreclosures. So now you've accumulated maybe 5, 6 years.
That's right.
So without making an effort to reach out to us and get into a payment plan, apply for this Michigan Homeowner Assistance Fund, those individuals are likely to lose their property.
I see. And for the landlord, this is a great idea. You said there is a program for them, because there is a lot of landlord, the tenant, they're not paying them. They're not making money. They're sitting home, and what government getting, not enough. First is the food and the medicines and caring about the family, and then pay the payment. So there is a program for that.
Well, the landlords can get an extension if they fill out the hardship policy application.
Yes.
And qualify. They can get 2 years to pay they put down 25% of their total delinquency,
Okay.
and they'll have 2 years to pay it off. Same thing with commercial property owners.
Okay. March 31st, you have an event. You have a deadline. Tell me more about that, please.
March 31st is the statutory
31st,
deadline.
yeah.
It's a law. It's a state law.
Okay.
Every other treasurer in the state has to go by this law.
Okay.
And so
And what are we going to do?
March 31st is the deadline. So at midnight, you can pay online by midnight on March 31st, and your property will be saved from foreclosure. You can postmark a letter, a mail to us.
Okay.
With the money. It'll be saved from foreclosure, because we might not get the mail until April 5th or 6th.
True. Yeah.
But if it comes in the mail and it's postmarked before April 1st, then we'll take it out of foreclosure. But after that, if nobody doesn't meet the deadline, then what happens is the county treasurer owns the property. And there'll be no opportunity for the person to redeem that property after March 31st.
After March 31st.
Yeah.
But he could apply for all those programs you said,
Yes.
and save himself.
You can save. You
Right.
Can save if they're qualified. In other words, some people may fill out the application, but they may not qualify. They may not have the 25% down. They may not have everything they need.
Okay.
So we can help those who we can help. But as far as the residential homeowners, all they have to do is apply for the homeowner assistance fund, because the approval process will not be completed by March 31st. So we have to give them, we have to take them. Extension. Yes.
If somebody, year after year after year, and you said he's in default, you're going to do foreclosure.
Yes.
Okay. When that foreclosure will start?
It'll be on April 1st, the next day.
April, yeah.
The property belongs to the county treasurer,
Okay.
and then we have to then offer it no later than the first Tuesday of July. We have to offer it to the state, the city, the county, as I mentioned earlier.
Yes.
And then if they don't take the property, we put it in a public auction in September.
I see.
Yeah.
So when they put it, for example, April 1st is the 31st is the deadline.
Yes.
Can they come April 15 and pay?
No.
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 Okay.
That's going to be a tough situation, because a lot of people are going to come late.
Okay.
And they're going to say, you know, I didn't know about it, or
Exactly.
I didn't get my money until the 1st or whatever, but it's going to be too late.
Okay. How long will it take from the treasurer, from the county to the city, to the state, to the city, and then city will deal or sell it to somebody?
Well, usually what happens is with city we get 30 days or so. In the first week of August, they'll have until then to make the decisions what they want to do. And if they don't decide to take it, then we'll put in the auction in September.
Can the same tenant or the same owner of the house buy the house again?
No, the state law prevents that
From
someone who was a previous owner
Okay.
from bidding the house again, because some people used to buy property, not pay taxes,
Yeah.
let it go to foreclosure, then turn around and buy it back again in the auction.
Yeah. With by far less
Less
price,
money,
less money.
less money that was owed. So the law prevents them from doing that.
Okay.
Also, it prevents people who have blight tickets and delinquent taxes from purchasing property as well in auction.
How about if you have a loan from the bank, 100,000, and you're going to take the house? What happened to the loan?
If the bank or whoever has the loan, if they don't redeem the property, they lose their interest. They lose out completely.
Can the bank buy the property?
The bank cannot. They can
Cannot.
pay the taxes,
Okay.
but that's what usually happens. If a person
Have a mortgage?
has a mortgage, the bank
Okay.
will usually pay the taxes to keep the property from going to foreclosure.
And
Or,
he's
or land
okay.
contract owners too. Say if
Yeah.
you had a land contract and with me and I'm buying the property, I don't
Yes.
pay my taxes, but then you realize this property is going to foreclosure, so then you would pay the taxes
Mhm.
to keep it from going to foreclosure.
I see. So we're talking about many advice to the people to find way to pay the taxes. And one of them probably, he's got a mortgage, and he could go to the bank that they have the mortgage and ask them to pay the taxes and add it to
Yes,
the loan.
yes,
Yes.
That happens. That happens a lot. Sometimes the financial institution or the individual who has the mortgage, what they do, they have a clause in there that says if you don't pay the taxes, then we're going to foreclose on you and take the property.
I see.
Then then they pay the taxes and then they foreclose on the person. But mortgage foreclosure is a little different. You get 6 months from the time that they foreclose to redeem it, get it back.
I see.
Like
Yeah.
a sheriff's sale will take place and they'll sell it to someone, but if you have time to redeem it, where in our case, your redemption period is over on March 31st.
Yes.
So you don't have a chance you don't have another time to come back and redeem. So there's another twist. New law came into effect last year, which says that if you lost your property foreclosure,
Okay.
you may have a right to claim some of what they call excess proceeds. So
From the sale?
Yeah, I'll give you an example.
Oh,
example.
okay. Yeah.
Say, for instance, you had $20,000 in back taxes.
Yes.
You lost your property to foreclosure.
And worth 100.
Yes. Well, let's see. Here's what's going to happen. You lost it. We had a foreclosure. We had an auction. We get to keep the taxes from the sale.
Yes.
We get to keep the expenses from foreclosing and having an auction. Just say, for instance, it cost us $2,000 in expenses.
Let's say 10, that's 30.
That's 30. Okay. Then we get 5% commission from the sale. The treasurer does.
I see.
So we sell it for 50. So we get 5% commission. That's $2,500.
Yes.
And then we got add that. The expense is not going to be 10.
For example, yeah.
Okay,
the whole thing, let's say 5.
Okay. The whole thing is 5. So
Yes.
now it's 25.
Okay.
So you have a claim to the other 25.
Oh, that's, yeah.
But you have to file your claim by July 1st.
Again by July 1st.
By July 1st. So if you lose your property on March 31st,
Yes.
you didn't pay the taxes, you should file a claim by July
By
1st.
July 31st.
July 1st.
July 1st, okay.
So in order to protect your right to any excess proceeds.
I see.
if
So
over
you
and
give them
above.
2 months?
3 months.
3 months.
3 months, yeah.
Yes.
To file that claim. And then afterwards, the sale is over in September or October.
Yes.
Then you have to go to circuit court to petition for the excess money that was in the sale.
I see.
So that's something new that came up last year.
I see. Well, Mr. Sabree, I hear always from you. You want the people to stay at home. The home is their treasure. The home is what keeps the family together. You could lose everything, but your home is the most important. And you preach that all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. What happens if somebody, he doesn't believe in that? He'll get the taxes, throw it in the garbage and decline and all that. And his things, you know, Mr. Sabree, he said, you know, the house is your treasure. We're going to do whatever it takes to keep you in your house. What's your answer to them?
If they don't do anything, and they leave me with no options, because I have to
and it's
adhere.
state law too.
I have to adhere to state law.
Yeah.
See, like all the other treasurers in the state, there's 83 county treasurers in Michigan. So
Yes.
all of us have the same law that governs us. So we have to say, if you're not doing anything from your end, you know, we still have a hardship policy too for people who, say for instance, someone is sick, mentally ill, physically ill, they're seniors, they may have dementia,
Yes.
maybe they had some sick relatives or had real hardship financially, have no money at all.
Yeah.
They can still apply for hardship in our office and get another year and get an extension. But someone has to make the effort to it. We don't know. If we don't hear from them, we don't
That's
hear from
right.
the taxpayer,
Yeah.
we don't know.
Yeah.
There's no way for us to know.
And there is so many, you know, especially before, you know, they didn't take it seriously. But the 2 years of COVID make things a lot worse.
Yes.
And many people, if there is 5%, now there is about 50%, they be behind. And with all the program you offering, honestly, it's you know, it's up to the owner of the property. Doesn't come to you.
Well, one of the things that we saw last year is that people, when they got extra money from like unemployment or stimulus checks, they were paying their taxes. They were paying. People, the payments were up, increased over last year. So people were trying.
Yes.
But we need people to make that effort, because if the system doesn't work, Wally, if there's no accountability for anyone that doesn't pay, if people who are paying, they're they want accountability too.
Sure.
Because they feel like we all have to do something. And the programs that we have are trying to equal the field, so to speak, equal the playing field for those who are hurting the most. And that's why we have the program that we have called Pay As You Stay, for people who are very low income that can be exempt from taxes. So if you're very low income, you can apply at your assessor's office and be exempt from property taxes.
That's great.
In every city, every township.
Wow.
But there's 18 different municipalities in Wayne County are participating in this Pay As You Stay. What Pay As You Stay does, it takes your balance that you owe. Okay. And it takes you take 10% of the taxable value of your property. And if you become exempt and you have a back balance of taxes, then if 10% of your taxable value is less than your balance, that becomes your new balance.
That's right. Yeah.
And so
which is great.
And you can pay it off in 3 years with no interest, penalties, or fees. It's very low amount. It probably wipes out about 80% of your taxes, this program.
Right. Yeah.
So in Detroit, the Dan Gilbert Foundation, they said they're going to pay off whatever balance you have.
That's what I heard, yeah.
After this formula is enacted, and you have whatever balance you have left. So over 10,000 people in Detroit have benefited from this program.
They benefit from this
They
program.
have a zero balance now.
Wow,
And
great.
they had back taxes before, but because of this program, they have a zero balance. So they're not in danger of foreclosure.
I see.
So
Let's talk about the Middle Eastern community.
Okay.
Majority of them, they work, they pay their taxes, they pay everything. But there is a small percentage, especially the newcomer, they don't speak the language good. And I know you've been doing everything in Arabic. One of the advertising with us to reach the Middle Eastern. But what happens if those people doesn't speak the language? Do you have at your office somebody that if they call or they come or they take appointment that he could translate and work with them?
we do. We have someone that helps us translate these, like the advertising that you get from us.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And we also have a cashier that speaks Arabic as well.
Great.
And so if someone comes
So we
in,
could help them.
we can help them out.
I
Yes.
see.
The language is not going to be an issue with us.
Okay.
And same with Spanish too. We also have.
Great. When you send an mail to them, is this the mail in Arabic?
We have not all of our notices,
Okay.
but a couple of them each year have multiple languages: Arabic, Spanish, Bengali, and a few others.
That's great.
Yes.
Because, you know, they didn't speak the language and they don't know about the system.
But not all of our notices, and that's something we still have to work on. I like to have all of everything that we send out.
I see.
Have the language, the different translations.
Okay. What I need 2-minute message from you to the community. We don't want them to come to March 31st and end up with losing the property.
That's right.
What's your message to them?
Message is, act now. Don't lose your home. Go to our website, treasurer.waynecounty.com. Make an appointment if you need to. Email us at taxinfo@waynecounty.com. Also on the website, you'll see a notice that we have a Zoom call every Wednesday now in March at 6 p.m. called Ask the Treasurer. And I'm on there as well as members of the staff. You can answer your questions. Put your questions in the chat. We'll get back to you right away and help accommodate you so that we can help you save your home. We know that everything goes on in the home. People are working from home. Children are going to school at home.
Right.
So contact our office immediately if you need help.
Well, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
all the service you've been given to the community.
Thank you, Wally, for helping us make this message available to the public.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Dear viewer, that was my interview with the Wayne County Treasurer, Mr. Eric Sabree. Honestly, he's got a passion about people keeping their home. He cares about the families. He cares about the children that keep them under that roof. And he is bringing so many programs. Honestly, probably more than 10 programs that could help you. That could help you keeping the house, keeping your family under the roof. And this is so important. So I'm asking you, please, before March 31st, if you could do it tomorrow, next week, but before March 31st, find a way. If you don't have money, they have different program. You can go to the office, you contact them, and they'll find a different program till you get better financially, and then you could pay. So please, do not throw anything in the garbage. Take it serious, and call the treasurer, and you're gonna see people with open heart. They are, believe me, I've been talking to them. They are there to help you, and they're gonna try everything to help you. So please, go to them. And as I mentioned, they will solve your problem. Thanks for watching and good night.